40-40. It's just the beginning for Shohei Ohtani and Dodger Blue. My name's Ryan Bershinger. He is Beau Benson. Today, we're going to talk about the significance of what Shohei Ohtani is doing this season, all the awards he's locked up, and why, again, 40-40, it's not going to stop there. This is the Sick Podcast, the Dodgers Zone. Let's get into it.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. The Dodgers Zone.
That's strike three. Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter at 10:17 in the evening of June the 29th, 1990. If you have a sombrero, throw it to the sky.
The sickest LA Dodgers podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah, I went on a little vacation, Beau.
Yeah, fun's over, everybody. It's like the principal coming back. Heard the keys jingling down the hall. You knew it was over.
I was listening to you guys as I was sitting on a plane.
No, it's not a coincidence that school's back in session this week and Ryan's back on the show.
Yeah.
That is the stars aligning if I've ever seen it.
No, it's the time we get serious and professional, and I'm here to straighten you guys back up. What is this loose operation we got going here?
Yeah.
And so while I was gone, Shohei Ohtani kept hitting home runs and he kept stealing bases. And this culminated in the most Shohei Ohtani moment that we've had yet, which is incredible because we thought we've had like the most Shohei Ohtani moments in terms of like just who he is. I mean, he homered in the All-Star game already. Like he's breaking distance records, doing things with his bat that have been unseen. And he gets 40-40 in the most like dramatic, insane fashion that he possibly can, which is just, I mean, it's just incredible. It is truly a blessing that we get to be a part of this in some sort of way.
No, there's an argument that he's already like played up to his contract in year one of a 10-year contract.
I mean, I would say it's worth $2 million.
Yeah, especially since he's making less money than some guys that are in AAA right now. So shit.
It's amazing. It's super impressive. This is now he's the sixth player all time to reach 40-40, which is just remarkable. Now I know you and I were rather critical of people who praised Ronald Acuna last season.
But they were right, everybody. They were right. Stolen bases matter. It's clearly the defining factor.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's the thing about us is we are free to we change our opinion when we're presented with new information. Mm-hmm. So stolen bases are good actually, and that is the best way to decide who wins MVP. So congratulations to Shohei Ohtani.
Let's narrow in here on what these numbers really mean for Ohtani, and what this means for baseball, what this means for the Dodgers, and for Ohtani moving forward. One, as you called really in like May or April, Ohtani had locked up the National League Most Valuable Player. Which he has.
It's over. It's both MVP races are done, and we're not even in September yet. Like there's Mets fans have been trying to argue about Francisco Lindor, and I'm sorry, but like that's just not. Mm-hmm. It's not. Anytime someone does something that only 5 other players have done before, that's your MVP. I'm sorry. I really don't care that he doesn't play defense. I don't.
Yeah. And again, like we were critical of the praise that Acuna was getting last season, but like Acuna deserved that MVP 100%.
Yeah.
The MVP races are so locked up that people are now arbitrarily pitting the two MVPs against each other as if like there's some super MVP award that people win, which they don't. Ohtani and Judge get to both win MVP this season. We're going to kind of dive into that whole discussion momentarily. I want to focus on specifically the actual awards that Ohtani is winning first before the Twitter awards, apparently. So yes, he's got NL MVP locked up. As you mentioned, like Mets fans are trying to like blissfully ignore everything that Shohei Ohtani is doing, and they're like, look at Francisco Lindor, he's got a higher WAR. I want to point this out. Yeah, Francisco Lindor does have a higher WAR than Shohei Ohtani by like 0.3. However, as we all know, Ohtani does not play the field.
Yeah.
Francisco Lindor is an elite defensive shortstop. Absolutely. He's hitting like 270 and he's got like 25 homers, 25 stolen bases, something like that. Very strong season. Good for him that Mets fans actually like him now. Because for a long time they hated
were
him.
Kill him. Yeah.
So,
they hated that guy.
Yeah, good on you, Frankie, for finally earning the hearts of Mets fans. But no, just because he has a higher WAR does not make him the National League MVP. In fact, it is more impressive that Ohtani is that close to him in WAR, because when you don't play the field, when you're a DH, you don't get a 0 WAR for your defensive ability. You actually get a negative.
Yeah.
Like it's like negative like 1.7 or something like that, where you get that taken away because of the fact that you're not playing the field. And despite the fact that he has a negative grade that is going to perpetually weigh that number down, he's still within 0.3 of WAR. That's incredibly impressive just because of his offensive numbers alone. And let's not even mention Marcell Ozuna, who, I didn't realize till the other has a real shot at the Triple Crown, apparently, is like actually leading in batting average and RBIs, but he's not going to catch Ohtani in home runs, so he's not going to get the Triple Crown, so it doesn't matter. Ohtani's the NL MVP. It's not even really a debate. I'm just pointing out the obvious at this point.
I did want to say there were Braves fans arguing on Twitter today, because I guess that's what they do all the time.
Yeah.
And someone mentioned that Major League Baseball had swept Ohtani's gambling stuff under the rug, which is also untrue. But I would like to point out that the person who made that comment had a Marcell Ozuna profile picture.
Nice.
So if you want to talk about sweeping things under the rug, like we can have that conversation about Marcell Ozuna. I'd be happy to do that if you want to, but I don't think Braves fans want to.
No, certainly not. So, yes, Ohtani's got that locked up.
Before he even joined the 40-40 club, he was like minus 5,000 at BetMGM to win an NL MVP. So like, to anybody who doesn't know gambling like we do, because we're gambling experts apparently, that is just so heavily implied that he's going to win MVP that you shouldn't even bet on it. You have to wager $5,000 to win 100. That's what that means, right? Yeah. So good. Like it's just over. It's over. And Judge's odds are probably better than that to win American League MVP.
I think they are actually.
Yeah, like
they're insane.
That Ohtani going to the Dodgers might be the best thing for Aaron Judge's total career. Like that, I think by far, because Judge is just going to win MVP every single year until he gets tired of it.
Right.
Until he starts getting the LeBron treatment. So like he should probably be sending Ohtani like a gift basket every single year. Thank you for leaving my league, sir.
I really feel for Bobby Witt because he's having a fantastic season. Like he would be a runaway MVP if Aaron Judge wasn't putting up steroid era numbers out of nowhere. He obviously like has this ability, like he did it already, and he's going to top his incredibly amazing 22 this year. But speaking of topping these numbers, Ohtani's not stopping at 40-40. He got to 40-40 mid to late August.
It's so ridiculous.
He's got another month plus to go. He's going to get 50-50. He's going to be the first player ever to have a 50-50 season. And as I said, when we look at Acuna's season last year in a 40-70 and how like you can't really put a ton of stock into the stolen base numbers as you once could, because obviously the game has changed in which stealing bases is easier than it's ever been. The bases are bigger, and with the pitch clock, these runners can actually time their jump on the pitcher. There's also a limitation on how many times you can throw over. So it's never been easier to pad those stolen base numbers than it is. But when you look at, obviously, there's still a ton of significance in the 40-40 number because people are not combining speed and power at this level consistently. And if you get to 50-50, you're reaching uncharted territory.
No.
And
Yeah.
sorry, Braves fans, 50-50 is more impressive than 40-70 because 50 home runs is more impressive than 40 home runs.
Yeah.
The difference between, 70 stolen bases and 50 stolen bases is a lot, but it's harder to hit a home run than it is to steal a base.
Mhm.
So what Ohtani's about to do is the most impressive offensive season the National League has, I don't want to say ever seen, because obviously
it's up there.
Barry Bonds has done that. Mark McGwire has done that. But in terms of the last decade plus, it's the most impressive offensive season.
I mean, six, less than 10 of all players in Major League Baseball history have done what Ohtani did this year.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody did it faster. And that's the end of the argument to me. Like, that's insane that he's done it as quickly as he has. And that, only 5 other guys did it before him. And 4 of those guys are like attached to steroid issues. Yeah. So you can honestly make the argument there's only 2 guys that belong in the club. So like it's not a debate. Like, it's just not. He's the MVP. He's doing things that are insane. I'm not as confident as you that he gets to 50-50. I would like him to, but they've got 30 games left. So it's possible. Needing 10-10 isn't that bad, but home runs are tough. I would just like to see him set the single season Dodgers record, which I still would think would be 50, right?
Yes.
Because was it 49 Sean Green hit?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Did Beltre also get 49, or was Beltre, he was at 48?
That's a good question.
But so if he reaches 50, like, we're talking about
Sean Green got 49 and Beltre got 48.
Okay.
Bellinger got 47. Damn.
Yeah.
Bring Cody back next year.
Why not?
Let's do it.
You're gonna need an outfielder probably. So need a center fielder, which is a conversation for later on in this podcast. But here's the other thing that people keep forgetting when it comes to how impressive this season is for Shohei Ohtani. He shouldn't be playing, right? Like, the guy had elbow surgery. The guy is coming off of in essence, a second Tommy John. They didn't call it Tommy John.
They're never going to say that.
But it was a Johnny Tom. So the fact that he's doing all this, if he was just a pitcher this season, he would have never played. We would have never seen him take the field. And he's doing this in a season where he's recovering from elbow surgery. That's incredible.
And that kind of brings up what Monty and I kind of touched on too. Like, I'm more of a believer now than I was before that you should maybe talk about pitching less next year, even though he weighs heavily into that plan for them, I believe. But I don't know if he's hitting this well again next year. Like, do you really want to risk losing him for a period of time because he needs elbow surgery again?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's a conversation.
That is going,
for quite some time. That's going to.
It's really damned if you do and damned if you don't, because he's still such a good pitcher. I think people don't understand how good of a pitcher he is, but like, you can't afford to lose his bat if he's going to be doing stuff like this. So it's going to be something he needs to. Him and the team need to talk about.
Now, speaking of prominent discussions with Shohei Ohtani, there's one that has suddenly bubbled up. As we mentioned earlier, Yankee fans love to see things going on outside of the Yankees and somehow make it about themselves. Yeah. So now suddenly people want to pit the 2 MVPs against each other and say which is more impressive. Is it what Shohei Ohtani's doing? Is it what Aaron Judge is doing? Quite frankly, I don't care for this discussion very much.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
As I said earlier, it does not matter. They're both going to win MVP. There is no super MVP award that is given for both leagues. It's a fun, like, national sports talk discussion because it feeds into it very easily. The 2 biggest stars are both having phenomenal seasons. LA and New York pit them against each other. Which one is having the more impressive season? And that's fine. You want to have that debate. That's fine. What I'm not here for is for Yankee fans to be pushing it onto us and then being so
smug.
About their way. They're like, why are we even having this discussion? It's Aaron Judge. And listen,
it's you. You're the only one having that discussion.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
we
Nobody else is talking about it. Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not like looking at Ohtani's season and thinking, but what does this mean in comparison to Aaron Judge?
Yeah.
There's no reason for that.
No.
And hell, I will say it. And Dodger fans, you're probably not going to like that I'm going to say it. The answer is Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
I think that Aaron Judge is having a more impressive
and even
season.
better than both of them is Arson Judge. So
Arson Judge is really going strong, just carrying the Giants to 120 wins this season.
It's nuts.
No, I mean, what Aaron Judge is doing is incredible. Like, if you look at the offensive numbers, like, he's having like the 4th best offensive season in terms of like power numbers of all time.
Yeah.
Like, it's up there with Bonds and McGuire in their roided up primes. Like, and he's doing it at a time where it should be harder than ever to reach these numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing it like it's nobody's business. I get that Yankee Stadium is a smaller park, but it favors left-handed hitters. And so I'm not like giving him that much of a bump for it. What he's doing is incredible. And so I'm not going to try to sit here and be like, how dare you? It's obviously Ohtani. I think there's an argument for both of them because, again, what Judge is putting up steroid era numbers in 2024 where it should be impossible to do such a thing. And Ohtani is reaching uncharted territory with home runs and stolen bases and doing it on a surgically repaired elbow. So in both rights, they're both insanely impressive. So let's not like sit here and disparage what Ohtani's doing because Aaron Judge is having a historically great season. But we can also objectively recognize that, what Aaron Judge is doing is more impressive when you look at the pure numbers of it.
He's got 51 home runs right now. And as we mentioned, 30 games left. He could get to 65.
Yeah.
If he hits a hot streak, he could get to 70. Like, that's insane.
We thought we would never see anything like that again because of the fact that you had to take roids out of the game. And we've killed the live ball. We're throwing dead balls out there. We're doing everything to like, pitchers are throwing up to 104 now. I mean, obviously, like the game is trying to do everything they can to curb pitchers because pitchers have gotten so good and offense has suffered so much from it. So we didn't think like we would find somebody again who could hit 60 home runs. And Judge is about to do it for the 2nd time in 3 years. And that's incredible. Yeah.
No, it's Aaron Judge. And again, that's fine because they don't play each other.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Nothing the Yankees do has any bearing on the Dodgers.
Yeah,
like if Aaron Judge was on the Giants, it's a conversation, but he's not. So Arson Judge is on the Giants.
Yeah,
like so that's the conversation, but Aaron Judge is not.
They're not going to take MVP votes away from each other.
No.
And if they do, that voter should lose their job because they're violating.
That voter should get glasses.
Yeah. Just like basic. Who was it? Was it Mark Jackson a year or two ago where he was just like, I forgot Nikola Jokic existed? Like he like
that sounds like a Mark Jackson thing to do. Yeah.
It was like it was his all NBA team. And like he didn't, I think it was either Jokic or Embiid in their MVP seasons. And he was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I just straight up forgot.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like you have one job to cover the NBA. Like, how'd you forget that the MVP of the league is playing?
That's awesome. Mark Jackson is a treasure.
All right. So, yes, our treasure is Shohei Ohtani. Thank you for everything that you do. You do, Shohei. Speaking of which, tonight, as you can see, we are in the comfort of our own homes and not on the Fury Road, not in the absolute war zone.
Witness me.
That is the line going into Dodger Stadium on Shohei Ohtani bobblehead night. Listen, the bobblehead's really nice. Okay. And if you get that gold one, like, that would pay for my wedding. So like,
probably.
I understand.
Honestly,
the
like,
fervor.
I wonder what that's going to go for on eBay.
Dude,
that's
why, by the way, that's why Monty is not here. And I mean, hopefully we see her again after tonight because it's possible that she just gets lost in that crowd.
She could be going straight to Valhalla after this one.
That's we're recording this before the game actually starts, but people have been in line for like 8 hours already. That's listen.
Get a job. Go home. Get a job. What are you doing?
I understand it's a big deal. It is a big. It's a nice bobble. It's got decoy on it. That's fun.
That's fine,
and there is just the finite number. I think that what we're headed for, by the way, like, is Otani bobblehead nights will be like the ticket package.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you have to get the ticket package in order, because I'm sure like a ton of people were upset after the first one. And then Mookie's bobblehead was just a couple nights after that. And then everyone freaked out and went to the stadium really early for that one. So then a bunch of people didn't get their Mookie bobblehead and they got pissed about that. So I think you're going to get to the point where Otani bobblehead night is going to be a ticket package, because for one, expecting people to show up 12 hours before first pitch is insane.
No,
and yeah, and it's also like going to disincentivize people from actually buying tickets for Otani bobblehead night, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not going to think like, oh, I'm going to try and go get a bobblehead by showing up 2 hours early. You're going to feel like it's not going to be possible. Then they're going to be out, and I'm going to have to take the day off of work in order to get there just in time for the bobblehead. So yeah. If you got one, hey, congratulations.
Yeah.
Good for you. And you've got scars to show for it, I'm sure. But yeah, I think that kind of feels like the logical next step here is just going to be the ticket package.
Our favorite 10-year-old Dodgers reporter just posted a clip of Yamamoto's rehab start. Looking good, man. Got a strikeout on a splitter.
Good.
Look nasty. So please, Yoshi, return.
I know. It's been so long since
I forgot that he exists. I continuously forget that he's a member of the Dodgers.
It like, he's been out for so long that it feels like he's not going to come back this season. Like, that was the sort of thing. Like, so the fact that he's like actually ramping up
rehabbing
to the point where he could come back, very exciting, because then you're looking at hopefully getting him at 100% for the postseason, which makes a gigantic difference. So yes, again, if you got your Otani bobblehead, congratulations. Good for you.
Drop your address in the comments and we will come visit.
Put it in a safe. I know you got it to look at it, but I'm telling you right now, you got to lock that thing away, because your house has become a hot spot. But if you want other merch with Otani's face on it, you can go to Homage. You can go to Homage.com. Homage specializes in ultra comfy, high quality looks, repping sports, pop culture, and more legendary moments. Learn more about Homage with the link in the description. So check the link out. Go to Homage.com. I know they've got stuff with like the retro baseball game with Mookie and Shohei on it. There's different sort of Otani related merch. There's just general Dodger merch. And it's like, I know we keep saying it, but it's genuinely the softest clothing I've ever felt. It is wonderful.
Yes.
It is great vintage apparel. So check out Homage. One person that you're not going to find any Dodger, I mean, maybe he's still there, but probably in the clearance section on Homage, because
rest in peace.
Unfortunately, Jason Heyward is not a Dodger anymore.
No.
This was an interesting call, because on one hand, you're looking at it going, I guess that makes sense, because it's hard to see the true role for him on this team, given the fact that he lost any sort of semblance of a starting job once Mookie moved back to the outfield.
Yeah.
He's not as mobile as he once was, so moving him to center doesn't make much sense. And Kevin Kiermaier is that guy that you want as a defensive replacement or just a glove first center fielder. But when I kind of broke it down a little bit more, I got a little bit confused on this call, because as you and I have talked about before, Beau, Heyward's value to the team in terms of being like Freddie's best friend, in terms of being a leader, in terms of being an all-around beloved guy, that was something that the Dodgers did in fact value. We saw when he hit that late inning home run in his like one of 2 pinch hit appearances once he got relegated to the bench, which by the way, I saw people like referencing like Jason Heyward was 500 off the bench for the Dodgers. What are they doing? Yeah. Okay, sure. Yes. 1 for 2 is in fact 500. So you're not wrong.
That's Math's funny that way.
Not incorrect. But we saw like when he hit that home run, like half the team was like out of the dugout, like celebrating like as the ball was off the bat. Like they love that guy. And so I understand that there is real value when it comes in there, but looking at it from a pure baseball decision, I might be wrong, but there could have been a way where it could have worked because they chose to basically keep Kevin Kiermaier, but keep in mind they were also activating Chris Taylor, who can in theory play center field, and Tommy Edman obviously is an elite defender who can also play center field. So I'm looking at it thinking like, all right, well, I guess what they're saying is they figure against right-handers, they could actually start Kiermaier pretty often by starting Tommy Edman at shortstop, but then you're not starting Miguel Rojas. And Rojas has played well enough where I'd be fine with him starting every day. So if Rojas is starting every day, then you're just putting Edman in center field every day, which then pushes Kiermaier to just a bench role. And I understand that, yes, defensively he's better, but Heyward's bat is better than Kevin Kiermaier's. So if it's really coming down to just a left-handed bat off the bench, there's an argument to be made that they kind of made a mistake here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the mistake is just rushing to activate Chris Taylor.
Yeah.
Could have just waited till September. He's not
right.
He's not, like he had a classic Chris Taylor fly out to end the game last night. Like, I don't know. I don't get the rush to activate him, but I also am not going to lose sleep over Jason Heyward.
No.
It is extremely funny. I'm curious to find out how many Dodger fans that were like bemoaning the move turned tail when he signed with the Astros. Like, that is like classic Dodger fan bait right there. But no, it is kind of like I would have liked to have kept him around, but that's the tough decision that you have to make when you're putting these rosters together. And unfortunately, I think Kiermaier just being better in center field as a defender is more important to the team right now than like having the chief vibes guy around. But no, I think the mistake was the rush to activate Taylor over anything. Like, you didn't need to do that. There's no need to do that.
No,
there's nothing, no pressing matter to get Chris Taylor back on the roster.
We have Kike Hernandez, and he's actually been like kind of okay in the second half. Like, he's been up and down.
No, there needs to be a federal investigation on the Dodgers medical staff at this point. What the hell, dude?
Yeah.
Like no one thought to check his eye doctor. No one thought that. Like, what does their vision test consist of? Like, what are you doing here?
Kike has just been like, when he pulls into the parking lot every day, he's just been like hitting different poles, and they're like, "What's going on, Kike?" Like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't see it." "Oh, okay." Didn't bother looking into it.
I just think he's a bad driver.
Yeah. Like, oh, jeez, this guy sucks. So thanks for the memories, Jason. Thanks for being a friend.
Yeah.
That's the Golden Girls theme. All right. So, and that wasn't a joke about Jason Heyward's age. Don't go there.
Yeah,
okay?
Please. Come on, guys.
Jeez.
Jeez, dude.
Not that much of a dick.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap this up, because you and I were batting around something before, and it sparked an interesting idea that I do want to touch on. Overall, I'm confused as to why people are getting so upset when the Dodgers lose a game right now, because that's kind of like my entire thesis statement to what I'm thinking here. The Dodgers have won 7 of their last 10. They are tied for the best record in the National League, I believe. They are also 3 games up on the second place team in the NL West, which I believe is the Diamondbacks at the moment. So I get it. There's a tighter division race, but also They would have the 1 seed right now, probably, right?
Right
Like
now,
they're tied.
Right now they
Phillies
have
just lost today.
Yeah, right now they have the best record in baseball by half a game, I believe.
So, like what? Why are we so concerned here? Like this is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Because the Dodgers are going to make the playoffs, and that's really all that matters.
Yes, right now on ESPN they have a greater than 99.9% chance to make the playoffs.
Right. They always leave a little bit of space just in case a meteor hits Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
That's that slight odds on them not making the playoffs. Outside of that, they're good.
You'd be surprised to know they have the best playoff odds in all of baseball right now. So,
So are we freaking out because we really care about winning the division? Listen, like obviously as a fan, you want your team to win as many games as possible, and division titles are good, and having higher seeds in theory should be better for the postseason. But as we've seen for the last couple years, I don't know if that's truly the case. And so if you're one of the fans who has like knocked the format, which like also players have done, by saying that not having or having that first round bye might not be an advantage, it might even be a disadvantage, then what are we concerned about here? Like what I'm trying to figure out, like, why then are we seeing these games as so critical, and why are we weighing every win by like a half of a win and every loss as like 5 losses here? Like I get that, like, the first game against the Orioles, which is last night for us, that was a very winnable game, and I understand the frustration there.
I saw a headline this morning that was like, Jack Flaherty pitches well, but doesn't do enough to get Dodgers the win. And I'm like, I'm sorry, he held the Orioles to 3 runs. That's on the offense for not scoring. They had plenty of chances, they didn't do it.
Right?
Not Jack Flaherty. What the hell?
No.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, and the bullpen came in and did their job. Like, you're holding a very good Orioles team to 3 runs. Like, if the offense doesn't come through, that's on the offense.
That's what we've been preaching, is that I don't care about having Tommy Edman and Kevin Kiermaier in the lineup hitting 8 and 9, because having everybody else healthy should be more than enough to score at least 5 runs in every single game.
Yeah.
So like when you don't do that, that is a failure on the offense.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the starting staff.
Now I get that, like, Freddie like might have a broken finger or something, so they're like keeping him out, and that's fine. They should be. Again, these games are not nearly as important as the games a month from now.
Yeah.
So, and a big thing too is that Will Smith has really struggled since the All-Star break. It's been, in fact, really since like the first month of the season. If you like go back and look at his numbers, he's been largely disappointing, which is tough. And there's no like real obvious answer as to why.
No.
So I get when like things like that happen, then sure, like the offense is going to struggle for it. But at the same time, like it was a 3-2 game from like the 4th inning on or something. So I get where that's frustrating. It's a winnable game, but it doesn't like spell doom for this team in any sort of way. No. It's not some like this is who they really are. All the games they just won are irrelevant. Actually, this game is the one that matters. That will happen. I understand. Yeah. The other thing is like, it's because the 2 most recent losses seem to be pretty frustrating. And I think that's why I'm getting this vibe that like people are really freaking out. You have the game with the Rays over the weekend, which was a back and forth game and really intense and goes into extras. And then you toss out Joe Kelly in the 10th inning. And of course the Dodgers then lose. I don't really need to explain it any further than that. And a lot of people were really confused as to like, I get, again, this is Joe Kelly's usage. Daniel Hudson, I think, is on a milk carton somewhere. I'm not entirely certain where he is. I don't know if he just like is having bathroom problems or something. So like they can't like bring him in. He hasn't pitched since the 20th, and I can't really figure out why. Hopefully he's fine. I mean, put him on the IL if he's not okay. Like give somebody else some innings. But in that game as well, you had Michael Kopech pitch the 8th and Evan Phillips pitched the 9th. And that was a decision that a lot of people were being critical of, because I understand it. Like, Michael Kopech has been the best Dodgers reliever since they brought him in. Praise be. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
He's been phenomenal. And I am very excited for his future as a Dodger. So I get where like people were kind of peeved on that, and they're like citing like, typical Dave Roberts and all this. But to that point, I want to say, yes, it is typical Dave Roberts, but not for the reasons that you're all making it out to be. This is what Dave has done in the last like month and a half of every season since he's been with the Dodgers. These games, regardless of if it's a 20-game lead or a 2-game lead, he uses these games as audition pieces for the bullpen, not for games that they're like as if it's a playoff game. He's using these situations to see what guys can do when they get to the playoffs. So like, that's why you might see Evan Phillips pitch the ninth instead of Kopech in some tight games, because if we get Evan Phillips back to his elite closer form, that's a huge weapon added to the bullpen. But you're not going to fully get him back there unless you see him in more high pressure situations. That's why you're going to see Joe Kelly occasionally come into a tight game, because you kind of have to figure out whether or not he's going to be somebody who can even be on the playoff roster, which right now he isn't. And if that happens, then it's good to know that by using these situations to figure that out. So I know it will be frustrating, but this is what Dave does. Like, think back to 2017. I know we want to erase 2017, but that's September. Going into the postseason, they were terrible. Yeah, they were like 9-22 or something like that. It was wild. Like, they were awful. And everybody was picking the Diamondbacks to eliminate them in the first round because they were so bad going into the postseason. And then the Dodgers swept the Diamondbacks. Yeah. This is just the way, because the Dodgers had such a lead in that last month of the season. Dave was managing to try to figure things out for the postseason. Like, this is, and sometimes that causes the team to lose regular season games. I mean, and so I understand where the frustrations are, but like, these are things that do pay dividends, or at least they should later on.
Two things real quick from me. I think legitimately what happens here is, I think like baseball season ending coinciding with the NFL season beginning kind of changes people's mindset in the terms of importance of winning games and the importance of where your playoff seeding is. Because being the one seed, being the Chiefs, being the one seed and getting home field throughout the playoffs is huge, because nobody wants to go play in Arrowhead. That sucks. But like, I don't really give a fuck if the Dodgers get home field or not. I don't. Like, it hasn't mattered in the past. It just hasn't. And frankly, if the Padres and the Diamondbacks make the postseason, the Dodgers are going to have home field anyway at some point. Like, it doesn't matter. They're gonna have more fans in Arizona, and they're gonna have more fans in San Diego. Yeah. So, like, that's fine. And this is what you guys wanted. We've said it before, but like, this is what everybody wanted. You wanted a tighter division where they'd have to play for more like relevant games in September. So here you go. Like, this is what you wanted. I really think that fans should prepare themselves to be losing the division by the time the series wraps up here in Arizona at the end of the weekend. Because I don't think they're going to win a game against the Orioles. Last night's game was the game to win, because you can probably cross tonight off because it's Walker Buehler against Corbin Burns. So you can, all those people going there for the Ohtani bobbleheads, I hope you really enjoy that thing. And tomorrow is Bobby Miller, I guess, against Maury Povich. Good for him. Congrats, Maury. What a career turn. So
he will be our father.
Yeah. I just don't. So you're going to probably be tied with the D-backs going into the weekend. And that's not a great series for the Dodgers. So they're going to be probably fighting for their life here at the end of the season, which is what we all wanted. So like, congrats. I don't know what else to say to people.
Right. It's for all of you who like wished that the Dodgers did not have the first round bye in the last couple of playoffs, to see like maybe that's the thing that like messed
and I don't want that. I don't think anybody does.
Yeah.
The Phillies can have that. The D-backs can have that.
Right. So then,
we've tried it. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Yeah. So I hope then people are then fine with us dropping some games and then probably dropping the division. But again, like we're saying this with the Dodgers having won 7 of the last 10 games.
Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't make them a bad team.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It's just they play now in probably like the best division in baseball.
Yeah.
At the time, like at this current moment, I don't think anybody's better than the NL West. So like that's the way the cookie crumbles, man.
Yeah. How tight the competition is in the NL West this season is not on the Dodgers. It's because the Diamondbacks and Padres have gone off in the last couple months. Mm-hmm. The Dodgers have played consistently pretty well and at times very well.
Especially after getting Mookie back. Like they look like the Dodgers again.
Yeah. So I know it's we just bang the drum of everyone just calm down, but I'm so confused as to why people are putting such immense pressure on these present games.
Yeah.
While like on a daily basis that changes too. Like just like blissfully ignoring the amount of games they just won coming into this series. So it's
you want to win the division, but like I don't give a fuck.
But they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Not winning the division is not some colossal failure. Yeah. In fact, like it might be an advantage because from what we've seen from recent history in terms of teams that actually do end up winning the World Series, if that's the goal, like maybe you just allow another team to have that first round bye, get that momentum going.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Bastards.
All right.
It's all right. Real sports start tomorrow.
There you go.
That's right.
Good. Yeah. Colorado and North Dakota State.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to report that I have won my first game for Cal State Northridge football in 2024. There you go. I have reformed the Pac-12. We beat Washington State after a very unfortunate loss to Boise State in the opener. The Matadome is just a rebranded Rose Bowl. It was literally the Rose Bowl, and somebody crudely has changed the colors of it, and now it's the Matadome. So hey, things are looking up for us Matadors.
Hell yeah!
All right,
let's go.
I'm gonna get us to a bowl game this year. Just you watch. Don't you worry. Okay. Maybe New Year's 6. Hey, let's get wild. All right. Well, I'm going to the game tomorrow night.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So hopefully the Dodgers do in fact take a game from the Orioles.
You'll see Maury Povich in person. I still have not gone to a game this year, so if anybody wants to crowdfund me a ticket to go to a Dodger game, that's fine. We can do that.
No.
I'm not too proud to beg.
Yeah.
Send me to the Dodgers.
It would be really fortunate if you happen to know somebody who works at the stadium.
I know.
Almost a daily basis.
I don't want to do that shit.
That's all right. She probably, after tonight, actually, you might not.
Yeah,
she might be buried under people. It's just never making it out.
Oh man.
All right. Well, so enjoy this coming week of Dodger baseball again. Yeah, it is a very weird time where the Dodgers are doing really well, but also in people's minds, I guess not. So let's see how this next week goes, and we'll reconvene next week, huh?
That's right.
So for Monty Bolaños, we'll catch her next time. We'll get the full-fledged report on the
carnage,
the absolute scene at Dodger Stadium on Shohei Ohtani bobblehead night number 2. He is Beau Benson. Beau, tell them where they could follow you.
At Beau Not Jackson on Twitter, please.
That's right.
As you see there.
There you go. And my name is Ryan Bershinger. You can follow me on Twitter at Ryan Bershinger. This is the Sick Podcast, the Dodger Zone. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on your favorite podcast platform, whether that be Apple or Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. So until next time, domo arigato, everyone. Thank you very much.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast, The Dodgers Zone, on YouTube, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.